Hi guys, welcome to Drawing Club. Today we're drawing a nurse for Nurses Week. Okay, so this is our nurse for Nursing Week. And to draw this nurse, you will need a pencil, and maybe a pencil sharpener, and an eraser to erase any mistakes you make. And you will need a black pencil crayon or a black marker to outline her. And then if you have them, maybe some color pencils or some color markers to color it with. But as usual, I'm going to use my gray marker to draw just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to start our nurse with a circle for her head. So just like this. Okay. I'm going to put two circles at the sides of her head for her ears. Here's one. And the other one. And remember, if I'm drawing too quickly, you can always pause the video and catch up. So, oops, I'm just going to move that. So, her hair, we're going to draw a curving line like this, and then another curving line just sweeping her hair down over her forehead like this. And then another bump of hair on this side, like that. And her eyes, she's smiling, so her eyes are making those happy upside down U shapes. And she's got two little eyelashes at the side. And her other eye's smiling, and it's got the same two little eyelashes. Now she's wearing a mask, which is very important sometimes for nurses to wear to keep themselves healthy and also to keep their patients healthy. So if you've ever been to see a nurse or if you've ever been to the dentist, you might see that sometimes they wear masks like this just to make sure that if they had a cold that they wouldn't give it to you, or if you had a cold you wouldn't give it to them. And so they can be a very useful thing. So that's her face. We're going to move on to her body, and I think we'll do sort of a rectangle shape here for her body. Just like this. And then for her legs, two more rectangles coming out of the bottom of her nurse's uniform here. One like that. And another like this. Okay. She's holding a clipboard in her hand, so I'm going to make another rectangle over here. It's going to overlap and go over the rectangle we already made for her body just a little bit here. Like this. And there's a little clip at the top. So I'm going to draw another little rectangle there, and then a little circle on the top for where that clip is. Just like that. And her sleeve of her shirt is right here, so I'm going to put in a kind of a little triangle shape to show where her sleeve is, and then two little lines to show the inside of her arm, and then I'm going to put two lines going up to show the rest of her arm up to her hand. Then I'll give her a thumb and a little bump for the inside of her hand, and we'll give her 4 little sausage fingers here. Just like that. For the collar of her shirt, I'm just going to make little triangle shapes. One there. Not really a triangle, actually. It's more like it has 4 sides, so it's definitely not a triangle. It's a strange rectangle. And there's another one. Okay. And she has a stethoscope around her. That's a difficult word for me to say for some reason. A stethoscope around her neck, which is what she can use to listen to someone's heartbeat. So I'm just going to put 2 lines there to show part of the stethoscope, and then the round part that she would use to put against somebody's chest to listen. And then on the other side, there's the kind of earphones part. So I'm going to continue that, the line. I'm going to put a little rectangle here, and then 2 curving lines coming down like this, and a little circle on the end for the part that goes inside the ear. And the same, this one's going to cross underneath like that. And a little circle there for the other ear. I'm forgetting to do her hand. She has a hand over here. So I'm going to just draw a kind of a square shape there. And then we'll put the fingers inside that. So 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and 4 fingers. And then I think we need to put her shoes on. So she's got 2 shoes, 1 and 2. And I think, oh, I forgot, I drew a ponytail on her, so I'm just going to put a little bump here to show that she has, her hair continues behind her head and comes out there as a little ponytail. And the last thing we'll draw is a big heart just behind her here. Like this, and the same on the other side. Great. Okay. Oh, I think she needs a bit more shoulder here coming around. Right there. Okay. So we'll move over to our outliner marker. So you should be finished with your pencil now. You can get your black pencil crayon or your black marker. And we'll just go over the lines we've already drawn. And we can make any changes we might need at this point. And then you can erase your pencil lines at the end. So this is a very important week. This is Nurses Week. And this is a week where we say thank you for all of the hard work and all of the good work that nurses do. And if you have never been into a hospital, I think most of you probably have met a nurse at some point, and many of you probably have a nurse in your family, or you're friends with somebody who is a nurse. When I was in school, a friend of mine called Jessica, her mom was a nurse, and so I think probably most of us know a nurse personally. But nurses, they have to train very hard to do their job, because there are many different kinds of nurses. They specialize in different things. So there are some nurses that work in the hospital and that might work helping with operations. And there are some nurses that work in schools. And I worked in a school where nurses would sometimes come and they would even just tell us all about really important things like healthy eating and you know, how to get good exercise and things like that. And there are nurses that help mothers to have their babies. And there are all kinds of different important jobs that nurses do. But nurses usually work very closely with the people they take care of. And so, sorry, just have to concentrate on drawing the stethoscope. It's quite hard to draw. And it's not just Nurses Week. It is the 200-year anniversary this year of Florence Nightingale, who was a very important nurse who lived in England, and she helped to change a lot about how people work in hospitals. Because before she came along, hospitals weren't actually as clean as they are now. And she worked very hard to show people how important it was to keep things clean, and also how important it was to give good, healthy food to people who were in hospitals. And so she is a very, very important person, and it's important we remember her right now. And this year, of course, because there have been situations where people have had to go into hospital, maybe more than usual, because we are very lucky here on Prince Edward Island that we didn't experience some of the things that in other places in the world have happened. But it's really a very important year to remember that nurses work extremely hard and that their job is not an easy job. In fact, nurses walk much, much more than most people in their job. I was reading that nurses walk sometimes 2 times as far every day to do their jobs than everyone else works. Than everyone else walks. And so They do not have an easy job, and we should be very thankful that they do their job. And this year, there is a special kind of theme for Nurses Week, and that theme is compassion. And so you might have heard of that word before, the word compassion. It sort of means thinking about the feelings of other people and caring about other people's feelings. And so nurses, of course, their job is a job where they really are focused on making sure other people are feeling comfortable and happy and taken care of. And so when I think of compassion, you know, when we're at school, sometimes we might see that another student is upset about something, and we show compassion when we ask them what's wrong, or if there's anything we can do to help, or if we need to find someone else to help them. Those are all things we can do to show compassion. And so when we all get back to regular school, it's going to be important to remember to always show compassion the way that nurses show compassion every day in their jobs. Just going to finish the heart. It looks a bit wonky, but that's okay. I'm going to bring back my color version of our nurse. So you can see I gave her brown hair. I gave her some pink cheeks. I gave her a pink clipboard there and a bright pink stethoscope and a blue uniform and some purple shadow underneath her. And I made that heart a pink color as well. All right, thanks for coming today again, and I can't wait to see you guys again.